Hello, hello, Recover and Rise family. How is it going? Happy Wednesday. You get a little special with Julie and I here in person together today, and we are super excited to be here with you for another live. If you are here with us, say hi. If you are here live, say live in the comments. If you are catching the replay, put replay in the comments. And if you're catching this on YouTube or the podcast, let us know. This is super exciting. We are going to be chatting a little bit more about designing your vision for 2023 and the three things that you must have in order to set yourself up for success throughout this next year. And yeah, we're super fired up. If you're here, say hello. We're just pulling up the comments so we can see. Hi, Justin. So happy you're on here. And we wanted to do a little quick before we hop into this topic. Let us know what you think about this topic. If you have anything that's coming through for you, some of the things you think that are very important for you to be able to have the most epic year that you could possibly have coming into 2023. And I'm just going to welcome some new members into the group because we have been growing and we are very, very excited to have some new people in here. So we'd love to welcome Arthur, Julie, Chris, Luca, Colin's mom, and Mark, and also Rebecca into the group. So welcome, welcome. Make yourself at home. Please say hello and introduce yourself, and we will get into our topic here for today. And so when we were chatting about this, we were really thinking about the things that really helped us impact our lives so much to be able to get where we are and feeling so grounded in what we're doing and what we're bringing to the world. And the top three things that we were like, if we were to think about the three things that were like the most crucial things that we have implemented that really helped us to set us up for success, what were those three things? And so those are the three things that we are going to be chatting about today so that you can stop procrastinating toward those big dreams and those big goals and the things that you are really wanting to bring to this world, those special passions that you know are in your heart. Or maybe it's just that gut feeling right now that it's like you know that there is something bigger and you really want to tap into that full potential of what you're doing. And this isn't going to be for you if you are not ready to go into it. You know, like this is going to be for you. Listen to this and be very intentional with what you're listening to if you are ready to make 2023 your best year yet. So put in the comments, let us know if you are here and you are ready to make 2023 your best year yet. Put 2023 in the comments because we are so ready to make 2023 our best year yet as well.
We are so ready. Thank you so much, Laura. You handing it over?
Yeah, if you have anything you want to share, feel free.
Well, I think what I hear from a lot of people is I've got nothing to look forward to, or I don't feel motivated. I want to have that drive and purpose, that fire, that passion to be able to put the things that I want to put in place together. And I know some of us have been sitting on our goals and our dreams and our visions for years, and I ask myself, when was for how long did I want to always create music and make music? And it's been years, right? And so having these grounded tools, these tools that help us stay grounded throughout those times, help us to put those projects into place. I mean, we were in the recording studio yesterday, and it's crazy like how many setbacks we face on the road there. And most of us, when we face a setback, we just stop, and then we feel unmotivated and we don't understand why that happens. So the purpose of this live is just really to shed a little bit of light on how to think about your vision for 2023. And if you do want to go deeper, we're going to be talking about Recover and Rise, which is coming at the end of January at the end, to really help you have an environment that will foster that level of growth that you want to really step into.
And that brings us into the very first thing. The very first thing you must have moving into 2023 to really set yourself up for success is that environment that is going to foster your growth, like Julia said, and like the people, your environment, the people. Who are the people that you're surrounding yourself with? Do they inspire you? Do they bring out that creativity? Do they make you want to dive into the things that you want in your life? Even just taking a little inventory of the people that you have around yourself right now. Because I remember when I used to, I would kind of start into a new goal, I would have my current friend group, and it was okay that they didn't have those similar goals. But then I knew that if I stayed in that environment, we become, like they say, like you're the sum of the 5 people you surround yourself with, right? And when we have people that we are surrounded by that we spend a lot of time with that don't have the same goals, it's just the way that energy works, that our vision will be pulled out, and we will start having the same vision as the collective of what we are surrounding ourselves with. So when you look at that core group of people that are supporting you with where you're at, and when our goals shift and pivot, we need to start like bringing in new networks of people to be around to help foster that growth. So people is a huge thing when it comes to the environment.
100%. And I mean, every single wildly successful person, if you look at Oprah Winfrey, if you look at Muhammad Ali, if you look at any athlete that you follow, every single one of those people have a support network behind them. It's not just that person. Yes, we are superhumans, but also we thrive more when we have an environment that supports us to grow in the ways that we want to grow. And I said this probably in a past live as well. If we only know one life, how can we create that new life that we want to create, right? Maybe you have a vision to help more people. Maybe you have a vision to start a business. Maybe you have a vision that you want to bring your art into the world. Maybe you just have a vision that you want to have a family, or you want to, leave a legacy for your kids. And I'm thinking about these people, and it's like these things matter so much to us, and we almost don't admit it to ourselves that they matter so much to us, because we don't want to feel disappointed by not doing them. But just think about how you would feel, or what it would mean to you to actually be able to bring that vision to life. And having the proper environment that not only fosters your growth, but pushes you in those times where it's really tough, and also supports you to heal so that you can come over those humps and really get over those hurdles. Making music, for example, I've been working on this album for a year. It's been over a year that I've been really working on this project, and I'm learning so much through it. And one of the biggest takeaways I'm learning is to not rush through this process, and to surround myself with the right people, the right producers, the right creatives that are helping me bring this vision into life, because I have to admit my blind spots, and I don't always know the answers. But when I ask for the right support and have the right environment around me, that's going to help me shine. So if you're in an environment where maybe you're sleeping into the morning, or you're in an environment around some negative people, or you're in an environment that maybe isn't helping you grow in the way that you would like to grow, comment below, let us know, and we'll help you tap into a new environment as well.
Yeah, and along with the people too, your specific environment. I know Justin's on this call, and we had a session just last week, and one of the big things that I want to commend him on was him having his actual physical space getting set up for success and to inspire creativity and prompt the action steps that you are wanting to bring in, right? And that's one of the big things that I'd love to invite you all to be able to do, is like, do you have that sacred space for yourself where you are going to dive into your morning practices, into your evening practices, into the spaces where you then feel safe and nurtured and held, so that you can really dive into your own self, right? Because along with the environment and the people we surround ourselves with, it can very easily, I know for me in the past, I can get consumed in other people's visions and goals, where it was very important for me to make sure that I was continually tuning in to myself. Is this what I want? Yes. Okay, let's keep going on it. So having that physical environment space where you can create it so that you can have it set up for all of your amazing practices that are going to foster your growth, so that you have this sustainability piece, right? Because when we don't have these practices in line and have our environment, it's not sustainable. And then we end up the traditional, where we set these big goals, and then 2 months, 3 months into the year, we end up completely crashing and burning, and then not actually fulfilling any of it. And then we start telling ourselves stories that it's not possible for me, or I'm not good enough. And then we just start minimizing our goals and our dreams and make them seem like they're not important. right? When they are important, they're super important. They were put inside of each and every one of us for a massive reason. So with that, having your physical space, so the people you surround yourself with, the physical space that you're around, and just the things that are there, are they high vibration? Are they actually bringing you the energy that you need in order to actually start fulfilling all of the behaviors and the actions and taking the steps toward that ideal vision that you have? So that is number one. Let us know how that resonates. How are you doing so far with your environment, with the people? Do you feel supported? And one more thing I'd love to share on this last one is the people that you surround yourself with, share your vision with them. Oh my gosh, the amount of times I didn't do that, I kept it to myself because I was afraid of failure. I didn't want to tell people because then, oh my gosh, if I don't reach this, then like I'll just feel like an idiot. I now tell everybody what I'm doing that I'm very close with because they hold me accountable. They check in and they ask, they say, Laura, how has that been going? And if I fall short, I'm like, oh no, thank you so much for reminding me. No, that actually did fall off of my radar right now. Thank you for reminding me. I am going to continue onto that because I know that's important to me because we're human, right? We need that accountability and that support to do that. So enroll your close, immediate friends, family network in your vision so they can really hold you accountable to what you're doing and just cheer you on and support you.
Yes.
So that is number one.
That's number one. Well, now number two, this is one of my favorites, is shifting our beliefs. Shifting our beliefs. Some of us think that we're just like prime procrastinators, or we think that we just don't have the motivation, or we think that, you know, maybe we're just not capable enough. Neither of that is true, but those are all beliefs that hold us back, right? Some of my favorite beliefs to shift are beliefs around money, for example, because imagine I thought that wealthy people were greedy, or that money was something that is greedy to have too much of. Well, how is that gonna help me fulfill my dream of maybe having a family and being able to provide for them, and also being able to go on vacation together, right? Like that all costs money. So you can imagine how our beliefs around certain things, our beliefs around money, our beliefs around sex, our beliefs around ourselves, you know, there are some of us who haven't fully allowed ourselves to express what it is that we want, or even declare the vision for ourselves because we feel like we're not worthy of it. So it's so we've already stated the environment is important to shift that, and also doing the work, the inner work, having the right emotional tools to be able to guide you in shifting those beliefs and shifting those thought patterns and those things that are going to sabotage our wildest dreams is so important. Yeah, anything you want to add there?
Yeah, a lot of the time we know what we have to do, but then there's that resistance of what is happening inside of us. It's actually not allowing us to follow through on what we want. And I know for me, I've had a coach consistently for the last 4 years. And it's just something that I love having. Like we always say this, even coaches need coaches, right? Because if you want to be consistent and move toward like big visions that are outside of what the normal realm of society deems as normal,
or outside your comfort zone,
you are going to need that extra support. And I know Julie always says this, like when we don't know what is outside of there, how can we know what's there? Right? And that was the big thing for me. I had so much stuff in my subconscious that was holding me back from my childhood, from younger years of being bullied, of these little relationship traumas that compounded into these big things that kept me more internal. They didn't allow me to come and show up on things like Alive, right? To be here with you beautiful people, right? So we have things in our subconscious that we can't see. And if we can't see things, how do we expect to change them? And I think that's the biggest thing with number two, with doing the work, is learning these tools to access the subconscious mind. If we continue only trying to create goals from our conscious mind, we can do it, but it's going to be a slow road. It is going to be a slow road, and you just have to be okay with that, right? It's all about your expectations and what you want. For me, I like doing things fast. I'm an Aries. I am like, when I set my mind to something, I just go full in and I do it. Right? That maybe not be for everybody. Maybe you want to take your time and do this slowly, and that's where you can kind of dabble and do your own type thing, and if you're okay with that, then that's okay. But if you're wanting to just dive in, knock through the patterns that are holding you back, then being able to tap into that subconscious mind really is the only way of being able to crack through a lot of those things in an efficient way.
100%. I totally agree. Boom! Is this landing? Drop a yes, it's landing in the chat if you're here and with us, right? I think it's really just the opportunity to say that we don't know what we don't know. So having others. I remember when I started making this album, the first thing I thought of was who's done it before and who can help me, who's in my corner to help me shift my beliefs. And I had a mentor say to me, you know, you're singing this from a place of unworthiness, you know, and she pointed out my blind spots, and we don't even see our blind spots. So that's why this work is so important.
And one more thing I'd like to mention on that is the investment, right? You have to be willing to invest into yourself. You have to see your worth enough to know that this investment, when we invest into our inner world, it's shifting and reprogramming. It's like fine tuning your whole entire vessel here that is here to create, which means that the creation potential afterwards is going to be amplified, right? So the investment that you make into yourself, like monetarily, into a transaction to exchange for services, is going to literally catapult you into that person, and you are going to reap the rewards of that like for the long, like your whole entire lifetime, right? The amount of people that I see, and it breaks my heart, that come on calls and they're like, I have all of these big dreams and this is what I want, and then they end up not wanting to invest into themselves or not seeing that they're worthy of that investment. And it breaks my heart when you can see people who have all of these amazing things to offer themselves and the world, and knowing that, and then also not taking that action. So know that you are worthy of it. Like, there is no dollar amount that you can put to your sense of value, right? You just need to know that you are worthy of investing into yourself to get the results that you want. Because you living a life full of love and peace and joy, what is the amount that you would pay to receive that? Because when we continue going into these old patterns of just limited stuff and self-sabotage and not feeling fulfilled, and there's nothing worse than having that feeling that there's more to life. I've been there, and it sucks, right? It sucks. And so when we can start investing into ourselves to really get ourselves there, it's freaking awesome. So don't be afraid to invest into yourself along this journey.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Yeah, I think I know how it feels to really want something and to want to bring something to life, and 1 year later still be in the same boat, right? And that it hurts. It hurts. It also makes us feel like we don't deserve it, or it makes us feel like, you know, maybe it's not the right thing. But ideas are like children. They deserve to come into the world. They have a unique expression and a unique purpose that want to be fulfilled. And so, you know, how we bring that idea into practice and how we let it express itself is going to be, it's everything. It's everything, which brings us to, you know, number 3, which is accountability. You know, having that right accountability, having the people who are holding your hand and holding you to your vision. And accountability to me means really self-accountability first and foremost, because when we can tap into the body's voice, we know that internal guidance piece, right? Our intuition can guide us way more than someone else can, right? And so the most powerful coaches and mentors, the most powerful people who are going to support us are people who are going to help us tap into our own sense of intuition, our own vision. The answers don't come from Laura, even though Laura might guide me through that journey. The answers come from me. And so understanding the body's voice, understanding how to access my desires, understanding how to access the feelings, the thoughts, the beliefs, and emotions that are holding me back yes, that accountability happens when we are connected in an environment that is supportive, when we have people to support us. And guess what happens even more? I get to learn my body's voice, and I get to discover what actually works for me. You know, I had a girl who I was working with for the last 6 months, and her initial intention was, and this, I'm sharing this with permission. Her initial intention was, you know, help me do more in my work, help me do my work better, help me, you know, get this project done. That was her goal. And when she actually discovered her body's voice, she learned that this wasn't the work that she was meant to do. And that's why she was struggling so much and procrastinating so much, bringing this work to the world, is because she actually was doing this work only to really impress her dad, or only to really impress other people. And they were all the wrong reasons. Whereas she actually felt called, when she discovered her body's voice, that she wanted to help people. She wanted to work with people. She wanted to give other people the addiction recovery tools that she once benefited from. And so she's making these shifts right now, and we're actually going to be seeing her tonight. I'm so excited. But yeah, this is all that can happen, and that is possible for us when we have that level of accountability, when we have that environment to ensure sustainability, when we are, you know, trudging forward on those goals. And it is important to be grounded throughout, and to really understand the body's voice, because the body's voice is everything. Your intuition is everything. Your connection to spirit is everything. And nothing can fuck with that, because guess what? The world is rough out there, and people, places, and things will try to mess with that connection with yourself. And, you know, sometimes we think we're mad at other people, we're mad at other places, we're mad at other things, but guess who we're probably really the most mad at? Us. Because we know our potential, and we know that we are destined for greatness, but what happens? We don't have the right environment or the right support, and we get caught in our sabotaging patterns. So really, once we know these tools to help us process, heal, and grow, anything becomes possible. When we have that environment to thrive, anything becomes possible. And I want to plant this seed for you all and ask you, you know, if you knew that anything was possible, if you fully trusted that anything was possible, what do you see it would allow you to do? What do you see would open up for you? Right? So I'm curious. Please feel free to type in the chat below what your personal vision is for 2023. And if you have any questions for us, we are here to answer them.
I see Jason's on here as well. Hello, Jason. Super happy you were on here. Does anybody have any questions that they would like to ask? I'd like to, like what you were sharing of the body's voice, and I love that for your client, how that that revelation came through, and things are now flowing because it's for her. I've had that happen so many times in my life, and before, it's interesting, I felt like I was forcing things. And I thought that it was because there was something wrong with me, when in reality it was actually just spirit trying to guide me elsewhere. And once you start listening to the body's voice, you're like, oh wow, it actually shouldn't feel that hard. It shouldn't be that difficult, because when we do align with that body's voice, things flow. You know, it's like we feel a pull into the things that we're doing because we're passionate about them, or there's excitement, or it feels good, and we know we're bringing that contribution and that service to the world, and it's a pull, right? And that's my hope for all of you into 2023, that you will start feeling that pull, and you will be able to ride that wave where you just are really stepping into that full potential and starting to create a legacy, right? The word legacy, like, what does that mean to you? What would it mean to you to really be able to be living that legacy, and knowing that you get to then pass that along to the future generations that exist on this planet far beyond our lifetimes? Our lifetimes are short, right? They really aren't that long when you think about it. And every single day really does count in all of that. And the way that we feel is really the number one thing, right? Why bother creating all of this material or physical abundance that's there, that's possible for us, if we're not feeling good while we're actually creating it? And that's another vision that we have for all of you. And so we did mention in the beginning of this that we have a really incredible, exciting offering coming up in January 21st. And we have many people in this group who have already went through the last round with us last January. And it was such a potent, powerful group, and there was massive transformations that unfolded. I know even for me, this year has been my most aligned and purposeful and passionate year that I've had yet. And it's been many years leading up to this, but this year was, and that was how we started off the year, was with this group container with Recover and Rise. And so that is something that we are going to be starting January 21st. So if you're wanting to be able to tap into what is there, and maybe you can share a little bit more about what that looks like for people, then you're more than welcome to join us, and we would love to have you.
Yes. I would say for those who are interested in joining us for Recover and Rise, just to send Laura or I a direct message, or also just commenting below yes with the word yes. Recover and Rise really is the container that's going to help you transform and blossom into the most authentic version of you, and to allow you to bring your vision to the world. It is a set of tools that we are going to go through, one tool each week, that will help you recover from self-sabotaging patterns, tap into your body's voice, and take the actions that will help you live your vision and create your legacy for 2023. We have so many people who have gone through this program who continue to return to the modules, and I receive messages from them like, thank you so much for creating these modules. They've totally transformed my life. They've helped me shift my relationship with my mother, with my spouse, with my business, with myself first and foremost. And people who walked in maybe struggling with food or alcohol or drugs or weed, or just struggling getting up in the morning with their own depression, later walked out feeling like artists and teachers and healers and business people, and just really tapped into who they were meant to be on this earth. So if that is calling you, you can book a free call with Laura or I, and we can see if it is a fit for you for the new year. We just want to thank everyone so much. I want to read some of these comments here. We had Justin say, my vision for 2023 is not to live in depression just because it's familiar, but to step into joy.
Yes.
And I see you doing that, Justin, to infinity and beyond, and I see you helping people along the way. Absolutely. Jason says, life is light when we embrace what the body wants. Absolutely agree here. Kenneth says, my goal for 2023 is to focus more on things that give me joy and what's important to me, and say no more, rather than just bringing in things that give me anxiety and clutter my environment. Preach, Kenneth, and I know you've made so much good work with your boundaries over the last year, so I can't imagine what more of your boundaries are going to do for you. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here.
Oh, there's one more there.
And my vision for 2023 is to create a space for healing and artistic creation of divine love.
Yes, Jason.
Same here.
I love that. So amazing. Well, we are so grateful that you are all in this group and you're here with us, whether you're on live with us or you are catching the replay. We're so grateful for you. And whether this is an opportunity for you right now or not, we are here for you. We are loving you. We are excited to continue connecting, continue growing together, and continue just creating this world the way that we see it to be, where there is more love and more peace and more joy, because that is the common theme that keeps being mentioned, is those three things. And we're just raising the vibration of the planet together. So very, very grateful for all of the work that you are doing and continue to do. And we're super grateful to be here.
Super grateful. Thank you so much, Laura.
Yeah, thanks for the live.
Bye, everyone.
Awesome. Enjoy the rest of your day. We love you.
We love you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.